Okay. Hi, y'all. I'm Amy Dixon. I'm in Southern Indiana. Been an agent for 14 years. Started out in real estate as an admin person and on a team, and she kept saying you'd be a great agent, and I'd like have no desire. And then one day she said, you'd be a great buyer's agent. And I'm like, tell me more about what that means. And she's like, well, I'll work with the sellers, you work with the buyers. And what I know now is she was just tired of working with all the sellers. And she saw me as her, well, go getter. And I was, and I did, and I loved it. And so my heart is with buyers. And I think before we start anything, I was very excited that Jennifer brought up this. This is your hashtag. It's not a tag, but one day I'm going to figure out what the tag part is. But hungry, humble, and smart, we've all heard that. But you have to be abundance minded to be an agent. If you are not hungry, humble, smart, and abundance minded, go home. Go get a job at Kroger. They're lovely people there. We are needed there. You can just show up and do your work and not worry about it. No need to be paid. To be an agent, you have to be hungry. When I interview a lot of new agents, and they're like, I said, why do you want to be an agent? And they say, well, I watch HGTV and it looks so much fun. And
I love houses, Amy.
I love houses. You're not going to make it. Sorry. And then if I say, what's your plan B? And they tell me their plan B, plan C, and plan D if this doesn't work out, I can tell you it's not going to work out. It's not going to work out. You need to be hungry and you need to go all in, because if you don't go all in on real estate, it will eat you. And then it will kick you, and then it will kick you out and kick you again. Okay?
Good lunch, everybody.
Yeah, enjoy lunch. And when you're in real estate and you're hungry and you're abundance minded, you're smart about it, and you're humble, make a lot of money. I told you about last time. You were here last time. I told you about my Disney story. I have a lot of rescue dogs. Not a lot, but my family has a lot of rescue dogs. I just paid for a fence. I don't know if you've looked at the pricing of fences lately. That would be a good thing. Fences are expensive. But I sold a couple extra houses and I got the dogs a fence. And now my husband was outside last night. The dogs were outside and I was upstairs not paying attention to anybody, and nobody was bothered, and it was all great. And I was doing real estate work at 9:30 at night, and the dogs weren't bothering me because they were out in my fenced yard. It's a good thing. Right? They bring you great real estate can bring you great things. So I wanted to start out with, this has to be you. And your clients have to be ready, willing, and able. If your clients aren't sitting right here, you don't have a client. Because if they are ready and they're willing, but they're not able, they can't get a loan for 6 more years because they just filed bankruptcy. If you sell them a house, there is no. If they are ready and they're able, but they're not willing because they're comfortable and they don't want to make any rash decisions, can you convince them to buy a house? If I'm willing to buy a house and I'm able to buy a house, but I'm not ready, the timing's not right, I'm going to graduate, I'm going to have a baby. I'm finally selling my people a house probably this week. They weren't ready because she was giant pregnant and didn't want to be moving, and our lease wasn't up. And now all of a sudden she's ready. They've been willing, they've been able. Now I have a client. Okay. Your clients, if you aren't ash, I don't know what it is. And your buyers aren't ready, willing, and able, there's no need. Okay. And if they aren't here, that's the key. If I've got a willing and able, but she's getting ready to have a baby in a month, do I need to still keep putting all of my eggs in this basket if I know it's not, we're not ready? I need to be abundance minded. I need to make sure that I am lots and lots of people and doing all of the things, because I promise you, as fun as it is to have a closing, it's more fun to have 4.
Come on.
It is more fun to have 2 in a day.
I
We're
love
gonna have
that.
3 in a
I
day.
love that.
Okay, so it's you get to your goals quicker. You're abundance minded and you're working with multiple people. Okay, so now we're gonna start with all the stuff. Hidden slide, hidden slide, hidden slide. When the buyer, TCPA, Jennifer probably went through all this, fair housing. I don't care how tall, short, what color you are, as long as you have green. I don't care where you came from. I don't care anything. Doesn't matter. I just want you to have money. Don't call people you're not supposed to call. Don't copy these materials and sell them on the black market. We are at Win the Buyer. Okay, this is my favorite class because it's where my heart is. Right now, my girls are 27, 25, and 23, and my business is all of their friends. Okay, we've heard the national statistics that the first time home buyer is 44, and the average age of the seller and buyer this year was 66 or 62 or something ridiculous like that. I don't have time for that. I want my kids' friends to be homeowners instead of being debt diggers. I don't even know, okay? So I have been talking to them. They are now talking to each other. Amy says we can buy a house. Their friends are like, buy a house. I'm like, do you want to pay for your mortgage or somebody else's? And they can buy a house because these kids we're raising are smart. So I love buyers, they're the best. Sellers are really cool too, but buyers are sellers are really cool because generally they're buyers as well. That's why I have 2 proposals. Selling a house, buying. Lead generation, the follow-up, and the transaction. Without lead generation, okay, especially newer agents, how many people on a daily basis call you and say, hey, I was just wondering, can I buy a house today? How many people can you call in a day and say, hey, I'm just wondering, what are your estate plans for the year? At least 10. You should be making, I'd say 30 dials, trying to talk between 15 and 20 a day. Just curious. What are your real estate plans this year? Oh, I don't have any. Oh, why not? Well, I'm gonna die in this house. Oh, great. Okay, wonderful. Some people will say that. I will not do it ever again. I plan to just, pick me out each person. Great. Who do you know that I might be able to help? Because I have some long-term goals this year and I'd love to help someone that because we're such good friends. I've enjoyed working with you so much. Who do you know that I would enjoy working with? I don't have anybody right now. Really not from church or school or your volleyball cheerleading camp or anything. No, I really don't. Okay. Would it be okay if I call you back in a month and ask again? And in the meantime, could you just turn your ears on and listen for me? I'm just gonna say no. Nobody. Ask permission, call back again.
Are you going to give yourself a task or something so you remember to do that? How are you making sure that you do?
In command. Yeah, task after the task. I put notes in the, and what is it that I do? In Google, I make an appointment for myself. And I'll put today follow up with
So your people in your database on the smart plan?
But sometimes I just, you know, I am of the mindset that the more reminders I have, the better.
For sure.
And sometimes it gets messy. But also, if I have 2 reminders, I'm more likely to catch one. So. You have to follow up. That's what we do, to follow up, and then you finally get a transaction. Okay, we've seen the funnel. Okay, here's all the people I know, right? Pull them all in here. Here's the people that might, maybe, could possibly want to buy a house in the next year. Here's the people that really want to buy a house, and here's the people that I get to. Okay, you've got to have a giant funnel. Because, like I said, y'all know 7 people that are gonna buy this year, right? Your job is to be top of mind. And not everybody's ready to buy a house. If you call me and say, what are your real estate plans this year? I'm gonna say, I'm very happy in my house. I'm not gonna move. And then you say, have you ever thought about investing? Be like, well, yeah, I have, and I actually have a rental on Airbnb, and maybe it is the year to buy another. Be curious. Oh, that's another one. Curious.
Cash or something.
I could have. Dash. We're gonna make a word here in a minute. Yeah. Dash. You have to be curious. If you're not curious, people are gonna say, no, I'm not interested. And you're gonna say, okay, thank you, and hang up the phone. Right? Hey, Steve, do you want to buy a house? Really, why not? That's all it takes. Really, I got one. How long have you lived there? How long have you lived there? And he says, I've lived there 15 years. I'm like, wow, that you have a lot of equity in it. Do you know how much equity you have in it? No. You know how much you owe? Well, I bought it 15 years ago for $104,000. Can you tell me a little bit about the house? Yeah, it's a 4-bedroom walkout ranch with 3 baths. Steve, you're sitting on gold mine. You understand that? If I said that you had $300,000 in equity in your home right now, what would you do with an extra $300,000? Might buy a house for it. Just be curious. Just get the conversation going. So anyway, okay, transactions, leads, transactions. Today's agenda. How do you know if you have an A buyer?
And they're pre-approved. They're ready, willing, and able.
They're pre-approved. If they're not pre-approved, forget they're pre-approved. Okay. They are ready to go. I don't say 14 days. I say 30 to 60 days. But I'd say 14 days would be a D plus 5. You get the appointment. Getting the appointment is not that difficult. Why do we make it difficult? Nobody wants to be bold and ask for an appointment. That's just rude. You don't want to seem salesy or pushy, right? So I don't want to push through and ask for the appointment. What happens if we switched our mindset and said, I'm not being salesy, I'm not being pushy, I'm coming from contribution. I know more information about the real estate market than they do. I can help them realize their goals quicker. All they need to do is sit down with me. Have a different mindset than I don't want to seem like a used car salesman. Yeah. Conducting the buyer consultation, preparing for the buyer consultation, getting the buyer agreement signed is a must. And we got, yeah, there we go. Okay. Somebody read David, read that out loud for me.
The right approach to close revenues and approach to staff.
how hard is it to ask for me? How are you gonna ask for a meeting?
Bring some benefits, like, here, you wanna look over this and.
It seems like the best thing for us to do would be to sit down and talk. That makes sense to you? And there's like the take back leader, would you be offended if I asked if I could meet with you? I'm gonna say that. So, but, if I could show you the value and why it would be smarter to buy a house rather than rent a house, that'd be worth 15 minutes of your time. If I could show you how to create generational wealth, then it would take a half an hour through real estate. That'd be worth the time. Or the really simple one. Hey, my calendar's open today at 4. Is that okay for us to meet? Doesn't matter how you ask the question, just ask for it. You just have to ask. And if Gary Keller says so, then it's all there. Okay, so, I've taught this class so much, I like to get to the fun parts ahead of time, so I've probably jumped. This is your funnel. This is what is an A buyer. So we've got the lead capture, your database, it flows, right? We have to have relationship management, it's a loop. We have to have leads that move into contacts. Like I can go and sit at the farmer's market and put a sign up and say, ask me a question about real estate. If you stump me, I'll give you a $5 Starbucks gift card. You know what? They stump me all day long and I just be sitting there passing out $5 gift cards because what I'm gonna get is their information before they ask me the question. Okay. You're even smarter, you figure out what the cheap coffee place is near you, and then a cup of coffee only costs $3.82. And you say, I'll buy you the coffee, and you have a gift card for $3.82. Cheap. But I'll pay for the leads that way, not paying for leads myself. Because I'm capturing leads here, then I'm gonna put those people in my database. And those leads, I'm gonna start talking to them in our relationships. I'm gonna remember what question they stumped me on.
What's the average sale price of a home in Topeka?
I mean, I'll look it up and I can figure that out pretty quick. But I'd still be on the card for being funny. I strengthen the relationship and then I prepare them for conversation. The smartest thing we need to do, if you're really interested in learning about the Topeka market, is I need to get you in touch with the Topeka agent. Okay. Do I care if my buyers buy in Indiana or in Kentucky or in Topeka? Am I gonna make money on all of them? You have the greatest referral network. No, you can find. I don't care. I do like nothing else, so there you go. And repeat peers. I've been in the business 14 years. I feel bad about teaching classes like this because I'm not hard on you to call people. I don't have to do that as much anymore. If at all. I feel loose without making it. And I'm okay with that because I have the person that I will have under contract today because I have a multiple offer. I sold their parents a house. The person that I'm gonna close tomorrow is my godmother. Okay. The people that I closed last week. This guy that I was supposed to be on a meeting with this morning is a swimmer friend of my daughter's. His parents were having dinner with other friends. Okay, so we've got Tyler the swimmer, parents, his parents, other friends. They were at dinner and they said, we really gotta get rid of this house that we have. The parents called me and put us in contact. So I take care of my group and my new and repeat and my referrals because that's where my business comes from. It is strange for me to, I give my open house clients, or I open houses to someone else, but that's a great way to pick up buyers. Open house is a great way to pick up buyers. But once you get in the business and you've closed enough homes, it becomes a different game. So, that makes sense, but this is where it comes from, and when you get to the point where people start calling you back and saying, hey, I wanna buy or sell. Just go with it and lean into it hard. And what you think is gonna happen is that people will say, I bought my house today, so 5 years from now, I'm gonna buy another house. I've had people turn around in 6 months say, hey, I just got a great promotion and I need to move out to California to sell my house. So when people don't pay attention and don't keep loving on the people that just closed 6 months ago, because chances are, I mean, chances are that's not everybody. Not many people are gonna move in 6 months, but it happens. Okay, moms get sick and they have to move to be closer to mom. Jobs happen, divorces happen, all kinds of things happen. Keep in contact. Because I think there's a statistic with NAR, it says something like 80% of the people would use the realtor that they've had before, right? When you interview them, oh yeah, they were great. Like 14% use those people. Because those people won't stay in touch. Here's a trick. I stay in touch with, if I have a listing, I stay in touch with the buyers of my listing that somebody else had. I just send them like happy anniversary cards. I don't like hard hit them, but I hit them enough so that when their agent doesn't pay attention and they've had 5 or 6 cards from me during the year, or a phone call or a flyer or whatever, they're like, oh, you know what? My agent was really good, but the listing agent was awesome. As a matter of fact, I just had a closing a couple weeks ago. Big house. The seller was apparently very busy. And just left 10% of the stuff in her house. Did not bring clean, left a pool table, left only a washer and dryer that nobody ever lets and stuff. Left a lot of clothes, left a whole like basement closet, the craft closet that you have, like that was full of everything. They left everything. And the listing agent's a friend of mine, she was in Europe. 14 days go out, they get possession. She calls me and she's like, girl, your people left everything in the house. I immediately call my people and I'm like, what are you gonna do? Radio silent, she doesn't do anything. To make matters better or worse, this house was in my neighborhood. Okay. I met the buyers at the closing table. I'm like, cool. If you ever need anything, my house is 3 houses before the stop sign. You're gonna pass it every single day. Maybe wasn't the smartest thing to say. Because now she's gonna be like, that girl that, her clients. That night it was my son-in-law's birthday. Okay. So we're all out to dinner. I can't still get a hold of the seller. She's ghosting me because she knows that she's screwed up and she can't get a pool table out. And I looked at my sweet son-in-law and looked at my hopefully son-in-law one day and I'm like, let's look at you. It's a birthday surprise. We're gonna get a free washer and dryer. I don't know. Let's go. Let's just go get it out. Took stuff out of the house and put it at my curb. Not at her curb, put it at my curb because it's literally around the street. Came back the next night with another realtor friend. I'm like, hey, you just bought a new house, would you like a pool table? Because he's a 28-year-old guy. So what did he say? Oh, what? Right? He goes and gets the pool table. I'm cleaning out the house. The buyer has a relationship with who now?
You.
She actually texted me yesterday. Hey, I remember you had some super kids. Do you think you could give my kids some lessons? this summer. If you be in contact, because she's gonna remember the great agent that she had. But she knows that I dug in and did the work when it needed to be done. So sometimes you have to do crap like that. But then sometimes people leave stuff and it's like a Peloton, and you don't know what to do, so. It happens. Here's my top things that I've received. Well, I've given away the pool table, a Peloton and a hot tub that I didn't pay for. I paid to move, I paid $400 to move the hot tub, but sometimes that happens, so go with it, it's good. Yay! Here's your 7-step cycle. Needs to appointments, prepare for the buyer consultation. Guys, have the humility to prepare. Okay. I've done hundreds, probably in the thousands, right, of buyer consultations. Do I go in there and read it, or do I review my notes? Review my notes if I have it. You have a buyer consultation. Know what you need to know. This is so perfect. Know what you need to know about the buyer. When you are preparing for the consultation. How do you know what you need to know about the buyer? I'm so glad you asked. This is my buyer lead sheet. I've got plenty. You have this, but we'll get to another. Before we meet, what it should say, but I know that in my brain, so apparently I don't know what it should say. Couple questions how to make finding your next home is not only quicker, but a better experience that's sure that I am fully prepared. You have 10 minutes right now. Okay. You can do this before your consultation, or you can do this in the beginning of your consultation. But you need to do this. Why do I need to know your legal name? Title. If I'm gonna write your contract, I need your legal name. And I always tease, this is my script. It's gonna be the hardest question I ask you today. How's your name as it appears on your driver's license? 99% of people will say, I think I know, but let me check and reach in their wallet. Okay, you need to know that. Who else will be buying with you? Nobody, it'll just be me on the deed. Great, is there anybody, especially if I have a young 25-year-old girl, is there anybody like your parents that you're gonna want to lean on with this decision? Oh yeah, well let's look at it and have them come to the appointments with us. And the showings with us, because I don't care how great an agent you are. And how many houses you've shown, but if you're showing let's say my daughter, 25-year-old daughter, 15 houses in that $190,000 range. Okay, what do we know about $190,000 houses? Are they perfect? Is there such thing as a perfect house? No, ma'am, no, sir. Okay, if we are showing a 25-year-old girl 15 houses, and we finally find one that she wants to buy at $190,000, and dad or uncle come now after not seeing the first 15 and see that house, what is the probability that dad's going to say this is a great house? Slim. And Slim was generous. 0. Dad and uncle and mom and cousin and friend and brother are all going to say this house isn't good enough. They haven't seen crap leading up to it. Okay. They don't know what the market is, because when they bought a house in 1987 for $47,000, that is the Taj Mahal now. Okay, they don't care, they don't see it. So ask who's going to be not only buying with you, but in the decision making. Okay. What's your best phone number? What's your email? Where do you currently live? How's the best way to reach you? What's the best time to reach you? How soon do you plan on moving? How long have you been looking already? Here's the answer. By the time they meet you, They have been looking on Zillow for 2 to 3 months. At a minimum, generally, it used to be 6 months, now it's more, we're more anxious. Okay. Why is this one bolded? Why are you moving? Why would that be bolded? Gotta know their motivation. I mean, I think name should be bolded, and why are you moving should be bolded. Everything else is fluff. Okay, it helps you. And also, that have you been out with any other realtors or signed anything? Yes or no? If yes, who were you out with? Okay. Did you sign anything? If they say yes, I signed something, I really don't know what it was. What is your answer? What agent are you working with? Oh, that's a shame that you don't know. Generally, when I have people sign things with me, I make sure that they get a copy, because that's the law. Right? Right. And unfortunately, if you sign something with someone else, depending on how long that is for, I can't legally help you. I've signed, oh yes, I've signed with David Shin. He's awesome, but I just want to check and see who else is out there. And if they can find me anything else. Well, great, David's an awesome agent. Do you know how long you signed that buyer's agency agreement with him? Just through July. Thank you very much for your time. I'm not an agent that wants to step on anybody's toes, and legally I cannot. You're in great hands with David Goodwin. Stand up, walk away, have the phone.
And you click ahead and it's okay to reach it back out.
Yeah.
Obviously.
If you don't find anything, if you are assigned through July 14th, is it okay if I call you on July 15th and see if you found anything yet? But do not be that agent that tries to get somebody out of the way, because it's illegal and it's bad karma and it's something. And if you have an abundance mindset, you don't need his clients. There are plenty of people out there. Okay. Who will be involved in the buying decision? There's to be back up there. Who else will be buying? Where are you looking? How many beds fast garage? What else is important? This is where I dig in. Who's the cook in the relationship? Who is the cook? Do you have dogs? Is a fence important? Do you need to have a garage? Is it okay if it's just a carport? What price range are you comfortable with? Have you been pre-approved? And the way I ask that is, will you be paying cash? Or will you need help with financing? Okay. Currently on the rent. I mean, this is all the facts, okay? When was the last time you bought or sold real estate, and how was that experience? And what 3 things do you expect from your realtor to make your buying experience fantastic? Well, I just want you to tell me. I want you to what I need to know. I want you to find out what I need to find out, and I want to be on top of it with whatever it is. Okay, I can do that. Okay. I made my brother fill this out. He's like, what 3 things? And he said, working with my sister. That's good enough. I'll do that, you know. But I like when you have your brother fill out this, that's how important it is. Like, I know my brother. I don't need him to fill out this. I know what his God-given name was. Probably better than he does. Alexander Byron Dillon. I got that. I don't need to ask him, but I still haven't filled that out because it's that important.
I'm curious before you move on, with your pre-approved so far down your list, is that part of your strategy that you don't ask them like right up front, or I'm just curious?
It's how this was written when I ripped it off and duplicated it. I probably asked earlier, but also I also kind of don't want, I like to get to know people. I am a relationship person first. And so I don't want to be like, you know, also, I don't want to be like mission breath, right? I want to make sure that I'm getting to know them and know a little bit about them. And then, you know, have you been pre-approved? I don't care if they've been pre-approved yet or not. I care that I can get them pre-approved.
That's good.
Yeah. I mean, it's good to know, but it's not like, that's kind of why I'm standing at the bottom. I mean, I'll get them pre-approved. Got the Tim guy upstairs, Tim, yeah, got him upstairs. And when you get people to say, hey, at 4:00, I'm gonna be available, can you come to the office and we'll figure this out? Hold him in there, and they know he doesn't, right? Because then he can sit right there, get a pre-approval and say, okay, we got 6 more months to work on this. You're good if you pay this off, or you are good to go, let's go. And then if he says you're good to go, let's go, I'm like, okay, we identified 3 houses in the contract, in the consultation. Okay, we found a home, let's go out and see it right now. Only if it's vacant. I'm not, please don't be the agent that you see a house, especially when you see a house with all the kids' toys still on the pictures. Don't try to call them and say, I'm gonna be there in 15 minutes. You're stressing everybody out, that makes it bad. I'll go through and I'm like, look, you've got 4 houses that you like. 2 of these are obviously vacant. 2 of these are lived in. Let's see if we can get in a vacant list today. And then we'll make an appointment tomorrow. You'll be 24 hours. Don't be that much. That goes somewhere else. Offer and negotiate, contract close, post systems. It's all good. Do you have any thoughts about any of that so far?
Abundance mindset.
What about it?
So that if something come from me, I'll connect to other people, you know, sorry.
100%. 100%. If I have, it ends up being over here. Okay, if I've got this person, I'm feeding into them all day long. If I have this person, I'm gonna go searching for more of these people rather than spending all my time on this person, right? I want to find as many of these people as I can to help. Because honest to goodness, this is where I struggle with sometimes. There's a better agent than you. For your clients, who is a better agent than you? Nobody. Okay, because you know what they want, you know why they want to move. And you are gonna help them. So humble sometimes. So maybe it could be expanding that. Because you have to believe that you are the best agent for your. And when you're smart, when you're hungry, when you're abundance minded, you're curious, you follow that up. Okay.
I think that's really helpful in terms of feeling icky about calling your people. Because if you really believe that you're the best agent for your people, then you pick up.
I may not be the best agent for David's people. But I'm the best agent for my people. Because I know them. I am relationship minded. Okay. And in my neighbor, I mean, you know, people are in clubs with other agents. They are in groups. They are at PTO meetings with other agents. And that's when I always meet somebody who's like, oh, Stacy Thompson sold my neighbor's house. I was in great relationship with my neighbor, right? But their kids went to school together. They were in a PTO class. They were in, they hung out together. I just knew my neighbor. Who was the better relationship for her to have? Stacy Thompson, not me. And when she said, tomorrow my house is gonna go up for sale with Stacy Thompson. And I'm like, girl, she's a great agent. You're gonna be just fine. She's like, well, I'm sorry I didn't meet you. I'm like, what relationship did you have with Stacy beforehand? Knowing full well what relationship she had with her. Okay. And I said, she's your person. I'm not your person. She's gonna do great. I said, now I'm gonna try to sell the heck out of it and get myself a good neighbor.
Right.
So you really got 2 people working. Okay. So be the best person for your people. You're not good. My lady that I first worked with, Beth Boardwalk, she's a bulldog. She's about this tall. She was actually my golf coach. in high school. And she, not everybody likes her because she's gonna tell you exactly the way it is all the time. There is no sugarcoating it, right? And she told me, she's like, at least 20% of the world isn't going to like you, and you have to be okay with that. And I'm like, everybody should like you. I'm a delight, right? No, not everybody needs to like you. You are not the best agent for everybody. You need to be the best agent for your team. Okay, so take that whole part, but just know that I think it comes back because you know you're not the right person for everybody. Converting your A buyers. This is where I struggle, and this is not where I struggle. This is where new agents struggle. Maybe I got a new. Great, what's their name? I don't know. I haven't. Why not? Great, I'm gonna screw it up. What if I say the wrong thing? So are we gonna call them or are we not? You have to call me. I don't care if you know what you're gonna say. I mean, all you need to know is, hi, what's your name and why are you wanting to move? Everything after that is fluff and bones. You're just getting as much information. Keep this. I'll give you another one. I have one of these in the back seat of my car, in the passenger back behind, what's it called? The pocket behind there. So if somebody calls me and say, hey, I'm calling on 123 Main Street, how much is it? Great, that's an awesome house. Everybody's calling about it. Can I get some information while I look that up for you? What's your name? I don't even let them say yes or no. Oh, this is, you're talking to Beth. Hey, Beth, thanks. Is the best number to reach you this one that you called me from? In case, I'm driving right now, I'm gonna pull over and I'm gonna pull this up because I'm gonna make sure I'm giving you all of the right information. I know it. I only have one listing. I know it's 325. Okay. But I'm still gonna get all the information. Okay, Beth. So Beth, calling on this house on Tom Evans Road. What are you looking for? Well, we just like, it looks like it has a lot of land. How many acres does it have? It has 2 acres. Oh, I don't know that that's enough. Thank you. Wait, Beth, hold up. I've got other houses available. What are you looking at? What price range are you? Where in the neighborhood? Generally, I don't even give them the 2 acres yet, but like as soon as you give them an answer, they're going to try to get off the phone. So the more information you can get, somebody calls you, the first thing I say, that's a great house, everybody's calling on it, hold on, I'm gonna pull it up so I can get you all the right information. What's your information, blah, blah, blah. What exactly are you looking for? I need 3 bedrooms, I need 2 baths, I need 5 acres. 5 acres, do you have animals? Tell me more about why you need 5 acres. Oh, I just want somewhere kids to run around in the backyard, but they're retired. Yeah, you don't need 5 acres, what 4 do? You know, what about 2 acres? What about this house on Tom Evans that looks like it has 10 acres, but actually the neighbor owns the other 8 acres, and your kids could run around back there. You know, get to know more about them. Okay, what else is important? Always respond immediately. If you're not responding within 12 minutes, your job just got a lot harder. If you are not responding within, it got exponentially harder, say that. If you're not responding within 3 minutes, your job got very hard. The longer you go, because if I'm looking on Zillow and I call Dana and I say, hey, I have to leave a message, hey, I'm looking at this house. I'd really like to see it today. And she doesn't call me back. How long? Okay. Yeah. How long is it going to take for me to call her?
You might call her and not even leave a message for me.
And I call her, not even leave a message. You are calling me back within 3 minutes, I have moved on. Call people back. Be curious. Ask them why they're doing business. Here's the rookie mistake, are you ready? Hey, I'm calling on 123 Main Street, David, how much is that house? You say
300,000.
300,000. Oh, not for me, thanks, bye. Done. As a 5-second conversation. Okay. Now, if he said, that's a great house, everybody's calling on it, let me make sure I'm giving you the right information. What intrigued you about that house? Why did you call me about that house? What do you like about that house? That's 3 bedrooms, it's 2 baths, I saw it on Zillow, it's in the neighborhood that my mom lives in, I want to be really near my mom. Awesome. What's your price range? 190 to 225. Okay, David, I'm sorry, this house is out of your price range. However, if I could find another house within a mile of your mom that's in your price range, can you give me 2 minutes and let me look that up for you? Is he gonna say no? He's gonna say yes, find me a house that works. I had a guy call on the $690,000 house in my neighborhood. What's your price range? It's a great house, everybody's calling on it. What do you like? Well, I like the pool, I like it looks big. That's awesome. Have you been pre-approved? No. Which price range do you think you're comfortable with? About 225. If you look at it, the same house that I'm sorry. Okay.
Like question to you, I'm already. That's like, I just want to know the price, I'm just thinking about the person calling you and asking you for the price.
Yeah.
You've got guys like, oh, man, that's something you got me really.
Got me real right?
Yeah, so,
And I'm not asking
I know,
questions that are hard,
yes.
and I'm not asking questions that you wouldn't understand,
No.
want to not answer, because
Yeah.
I'm trying to help you,
Absolutely.
okay? So in my neighborhood, that's the most expensive house, I don't know, that's hard, right? But my neighborhood, if he's looking to be with his family in that neighborhood, right next door is a different neighborhood, and the median price is 280 there, and I'm getting, yeah, okay, let me find you another house, I can help you, because I'm coming from a place of contribution. Always. I am not trying to sell you a house, I am trying to help you realize your goals and dreams. Come from contributions. We got lots of C's. Okay. Okay, come from contribution. But you've got to get it. You've got to get it, but you've got to get valid and complete contact information. You got to put it in command so you can follow up with people, and you have to ask, why are you? What's got you looking? I usually don't say why are you. What's got you looking?
Part of the conversation. Or you like one to Lord, you put on the or to I was about to step.
It depends on how interested they are. If they are, I mean, honestly, I don't waste a lot of time on people who are not open to having conversations. And then what I say at the end, I get through most of the questions. Hey, it sounds like we could really be a fit for you, and I can help you, realize your real estate dreams. How about we sit down and have a 5-minute conversation? We can even do it on Zoom. I don't know that I'm ready for that. Okay, are you not ready to buy a house? Are you not ready to meet with us? Are you talking to other agents? What's going on there? People answer, I just don't know that I'm ready. I'm just not comfortable. Well, that's great. I'm not here to push you. But if your goal is to buy a house this summer, wouldn't it be smart to go ahead and make groundwork right now? I'm available at 3 today or Saturday at 4. And I'm not being pushy, I'm just helping people. And I've kind of already figured out about work, they're jerks, I'll be like, house is 325. Sorry, not for you, move on. Okay. Also, when you are setting the appointments, today, tomorrow, don't say, okay, let's meet in 3 weeks. They're not gonna meet you. Okay? They're gonna find somebody else. Let's sit tomorrow. I can meet you at the coffee shop. You told me your address is in New Albany. My favorite coffee shop is Open Coffee. Better coffee? Absolutely not. Am I the girl that walks into the coffee shop and says, "May I have a shot of milk, please?" Yes, I am. Meet you at McDonald's. I'll meet you at the bank parking lot. I don't care where it is. Soon as possible, and then I sent them a Google invite, so it's in their calendar. Because I don't want them to forget. Why do they want to work with me? Why do people want to work with you? For my clients. Why do they want to work with you? I can find you instead. Listen, Dana, I understand you've been driving around all day in Shepherdsville, Kentucky, looking for sale signs. Would it be more beneficial if you came in and met with me and I showed you everything that was available in Shepherdsville? That way you're saving time and gas and money. Yes. I'm teaching in Shepherdsville. It's a big meeting. We'll get there. Yeah, 30 minutes, okay? Negative, positive, opposed. What's say in your say all those. Yeah. Yeah, ask for, yeah, I mean, if people, okay, so I'm at Dillard's looking for my, dude's just hanging, got this, okay? I'm at Dillard's looking for my 3rd Oats outfit because the weather has changed so many times. I got 1 pair of pants, because now I'm wearing pants to the Oats, never thought I'd do that before. And the girl comes up and says, "Can I help you?" What do I say? No, I'm just looking. No, I'm just looking. That's your Amy Dixon, and you walk in there and you say, "Yes, I've got an Oats outfit that I need to be wearing tomorrow." Okay, and those people you want to work with, right? Yes, I need to work. But anytime you're anywhere in this, first salesperson comes up, 90% of the people say, "No, I'm just looking." And then the good people say, "Well, if you'd like, I can just go ahead and start a dressing room for you and put those pants over there. Right? You need me running, say any help around you." And then they walk away. And then they watch you and then swoop back around, right? Because they know that you need help. I know that when buyers need help, but I'm not gonna be like, "Let's buy a house. Are you ready yet? Let's go. What are we waiting for?" Right? I'm not gonna do that. Does that make sense? Yeah. Take back clothes. Would it make sense? Would it make sense for you? I don't know if this is right for you, but it would. What most of my buyers like is to sit down with me and let's find some houses and then we'll go out. I don't know if that's right for you, but most of my buyers. Okay, if I say that to Steve, I don't know if this is right for you, but most of my buyers come in and sit down with me. What's your thought? Would it be right for me? If it works for most of the buyers, shouldn't it work for me? Negative, positive close. Give them what they're looking for. People always ask me when they call and they want information, why do you just give it to them? Like, well, don't you want them to come in? Or what happens if they're not pre-approved and they want to see a house? Okay? What happens if they're not pre-approved and they want to see a house? Here's where I get a little weird. in Shepherdsville. You really need to get a pre-approved, because we need to know what you're buying, your purchase. If it's on, Main Street at 1793 Main Street, or right down the, somewhere close to here. I'd be like, okay, here's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna show you this first house. Go ahead and shoot me a picture of your driver's license, so I know what I'm meeting, so I know you're okay. I'm gonna show you this first house, and I would say for free, and I giggle. I'm gonna show you this first house for free, but going forward, you really need to get pre-approved. Is that something you'd be okay? Because if you're anxious about this house, I can get you pre-approved tonight if you have credit in the same path. People are, and I'm okay with it. But also, if someone else, if buyer agent B, says I'm not gonna show that house to you because you're not pre-approved. And I say, listen, generally I don't show houses to people who aren't pre-approved, but I'm gonna show you this first one as long as you agree to meet with my preferred lender. As a matter of fact, I'm gonna put you in a group text with him right now. And you can start that process, but I'll go ahead and start that for you. Does that sound good? Send me over your driver's license so I know who I can meet.
And I'm assuming you're going in and sending them the buyer agency agreement.
Absolutely.
Okay.
And I explained that to them, yeah. Something close to my own system makes sense, yes. I just looked at the box, so there we go. Ask questions, empathize, identify the real issue. Why don't you want to buy a house? Why do you really need 2 bedrooms, 2 bathrooms? Why do you need the 3-car garage when you have that one? The lobby that I've seen in your drive. Offer a solution. Come up. Your job is to find solutions all day long. Your job is to find solutions. Okay. Urge for an agreement. I tell people all the time, this is my favorite buyer line. Okay. We are not looking for a perfect house. We are looking for an 80% house. 10% you can change, 10% you can learn to live.
What was the first 10%?
You can change. 10% you can learn to live with. So when I ask you at the end of every showing, how would you rate this house on a scale of 1 to 10, and you tell me a 9, I believe we're writing it off for that day. You tell me an 8, I believe we're writing it off that day. You tell me a 7.9, I'm gonna roll my eyes. And I'm gonna ask, why is this not a 8? And they giggle. I say that in my sleep. Surprised my husband doesn't hear me say it. It's just too nice to say it. But like, okay, I did that. I've shown these kids houses. And I kept telling them after Derby, we're gonna get more houses on the market. So people are waiting for after Derby. Goodness gracious, a house went on the market yesterday. Who knew people put houses on the market on Sundays? But they did. We went to see it. We wrote an offer because it was an 8. Because in their brain, I made the rookie mistake of saying more houses, great houses are going to be coming up after Derby. They're actually not waiting until Monday. They just were like, it did. It's a great house. She told me it was coming on. It did. Let's go. We wrote an offer last night. Ask the questions. Yeah. Any ahas on that?
So you actually tell the people are.
100%.
No, there isn't. I know there isn't. Yes,
Is your wife perfect?
no, she's not.
Do you know any other perfect person other than the one that died on the cross? No, I don't. There is no perfect home. There is no perfect house. My parents built their house. My mom designed the house. Was it perfect? Still no. 3 weeks into it, she goes, oh gosh, I would have just changed this. There is no perfect house. You are looking for a perfect mate. You are not trying to find a perfect man. At some point, that person that you love dearly is gonna piss you off. Okay, there's no perfect house. No, I mean, you. Not you. Okay, yeah, no, absolutely. I set it up. That's the first thing I tell people as I am opening up the door. Let me get one thing straight. We are not looking for a perfect 10 house. Because you aren't gonna find it. Period. And let that sit in. We are not looking for a perfect 10 house. 80% is passing, 80% is speed, whatever it is, I don't know. Yeah. And I don't want you to settle. But I don't want you to have your expectations here and never be able to be met. And a lot of people who haven't been looking at houses before, like, okay, I want a 3-bedroom, 2-bath with a 2-car garage with a fenced-in yard for under or $225.
I guess initially though, I think it's come off as like, so.
Yeah.
I think that's not, I mean, that's not, I mean, I heard you say that, I was like, it almost sounds like that, I understand your point.
No, I don't want you to, and I'll tell them, I don't want you to settle. But I also don't want you to have unrealistic expectations. You can have 3 girls and walk into a basketball Space Jam bedroom and say, this is a good sized bedroom. Princess Sally is not gonna like Michael Jordan on slam and dunk on the wall, like, right? Okay. You can change that. The 10% that you can't change. I wish the family room were a little bit bigger. What's important about family room being a little bit bigger? Is it just because you want it to be a little bit bigger, or is it because you have Thanksgiving dinner and you have to have a 14-foot table? That's a 13-foot person. Okay, that's a non-negotiable, right? But if it is, I just want it to be bigger, because that sounds better, right? But yeah, no, if I set them up, there is no perfect house. Have you met a perfect person? No. There is no perfect house here. There's gonna be the house that you fall in love with. And it's gonna be great for you. It could, you would say it's even perfect. But there's gonna be something about it, you're gonna have to change it. And change cheap, deal with it.
I really like that expectation. I mean, it's a very clear expectation, and the 10% you can change, that's golden right there. Because now you have them walking into the house, oh, I can change that. Oh, I can change that. Oh, so I really like that. I really, really do.
This chandelier is atrocious, great. On Sunday mornings at Myers, they have all the ones on sale, parent section. Go to Menards, sorry, not Myers, Menards. Yeah.
That's really cool.
I have one of my kids' best friends is 7 foot tall.
Mm.
That's to walk in doors like this, but he doesn't, he looked at a basement that he was like this in the basement. And we can't change that. That was not his house. He loved everything about it. That was a deal breaker. You can't do laundry like this. Hear it. Okay. We're zipping through because that takes too long. Because this is my favorite class to teach, and it's way too long. It's a whole day class. Make sure you confirm the appointment date and time, appointment location. Ensure all decision makers attend. Decision makers include the dad's office. Please prior guide, your meeting space, review the lead sheet, which you've already talked about before you met them. If you haven't, you will have them fill it out first. What are we looking for? The home search. How do we make an offer? When I am meeting with the buyer for the first time, I pull out the purchase agreement and I go over it. Paragraph by paragraph, not line by line, to pretty damn close. Okay, why do I do that? Because when I'm showing them a house at 7 o'clock at night, and they're like, this is the one, and all it needs paint in that 1 bedroom, and I can put up a fence. Okay, let's go. We talk about what the price should be. We talk about how to make everything good with it. We have the pre-approval coming in. And then I say, I'm gonna go home and I'm gonna write a note. Okay?
Yeah.
Jeff, I'm gonna send you this offer, you're gonna get it at 8:30 tonight. Will you make sure that you read it and make sure I haven't made any mistakes when you get it? Absolutely. And I hit send on DocuSign, and 32 seconds later, it bings back and says, Jeff signed and it's finished. And I'm like, okay.
That's great.
Jeff's a fast reader. He's very excited to buy this house. He trusts me as he should. Okay. But am I doing my due diligence for him if I haven't gone through the contract first? So I go through the contract before I ever send it in that buyer consultation. And I explain, you're going to be super excited. You're just going to sign it and you're going to trust me. And I'm not going to make a mistake, but I am human. And sometimes I do make mistakes. I do. But here's what we're doing. Here's where the address is. Here's where the price is. Here's where the earnest money is. Here's where the inspections are. Here's where your how you're going to pay for it. Here's what you're looking for. Okay, it's going to be an FHA or conventional loan. Here's where we say we're going to buy it as is, or we're not going to buy it as is. On this last page is where we have further conditions. Okay, and the further conditions, we're not going to ask for the John Deere tractor. Okay, but we can ask for the washer and dryer there and say it as a convenience to the seller, we'd like the washer and dryer to stay at no value to the home. Go over the participants with them before they do that. How do we negotiate? Explain to them, we negotiate 3 times on a contract. I negotiate on the day that we send the offer. I negotiate at the inspections. And sometimes I even have to negotiate at the appraisal. There's going to be 3 opportunities for us to negotiate. Just because we have an accepted offer doesn't mean it's going to close. 60% of all buyers' contracts don't close. 60%. That's a lot. Being married to the people, not to the outcome. Okay. I had a closing that was supposed to happen last week. First time in 14 years, and it's terrible what happened, but the buyer unexpectedly passed away. I had to sell it. It happens. It's not good. Okay. What did I do? Call the seller, got the house back on the market, and back at the market. How can I do what's best for them? Okay. Curtis, the buyer guys, we the deal guys. Okay. Legally, can't have. Negotiate 5 vendor coordination, pre-close prep. There's 137 steps that you have to go through to get to close. It's a lot. Same post closing, follow up on post closing. This, take a picture of this.
Where do you find the buyer? You need it.
It's instant. Yeah. A lot of people just now you can buy it on Etsy. Too. I do a welcome letter. I do a welcome letter at open houses. I introduce myself at open houses. I give people the information about the open house plus the letter. This is an exciting time for you. I'd love to work with you. Here's what makes me awesome. Reach out. Let me show you some more houses. Because I want them to know me. Because who else is giving out welcome letters at open houses? Nobody. So who do they feel a connection with? Okay. What's the timeline? Okay, we just can't buy a house. Also, when I talk about the timeline in Indiana and everywhere, like if we close on May 4th, May the 4th be with you. If we close today, when is your first payment due? June, July. It's in July. People don't understand that. So when they say my lease is up June 30th, they need to be buying a house. They needed to be looking for a house 2 months ago. Because they need to be closing today. Because then they can move in and, paint over Michael Jordan Yeah. All right, you can buy home, it's financial, do a net sheet for them, you all understand net sheets? Yes, no, maybe? Yeah, what's it look like, if you go to, use momentum title, go to momentumtools.com, I think it's momentum tools, I will make sure and double check on that for you. But you can show them exactly what it's gonna cost them to buy a house. What do they need for a loan application? Mistakes to avoid, I have a whole sheet on that. I did have a buyer who decided to change his name in the middle of buying a house. And if he went from like Joe Smith to like Mike Jones, it like made no sense. I'm like, why? It was terrible. Do not do that. Don't buy a RV because you're gonna be living in it. Okay? Why do they want to buy a home? What's better about buying a home in rather than buying a home in Kentucky? Insurance is cheaper. Your car insurance is cheaper when you buy a home in Indiana. It makes no sense. But if I have people who are like, I don't know where to live, okay, well, let me explain to you the benefits of living over here or living over there. Know your stuff. He's the smartest person in the room for a little bit. Man. Yeah, if everybody uses man. Please say yes.
Just say yes.
Just say yes.
You are not.
Buyer table of contents, this is command, we'll give you this. Build your preference, here's your home wish list. I think the best question here, beyond your top 5 needs, what is something that you really want or need? Like, if I could get your top 5 needs, what are the non-negotiables? What would be the bonus? Okay. But is that a need or is that a really strong desire? It's a really strong desire, I think. And if people don't understand what if they're like, I don't know, then the best question you can ask is, what is it that your home right now doesn't have? Write that down, because that's a solid question. What is it that your home right now doesn't have? People that live in apartments say yards, garages, roof, storage, basement. And it's much easier for people to say what they don't have that they want than just coming up with, this is what I want. I don't understand. Your house acquire accessibility options. I have a buyer right now that has one leg and one prosthetic. I didn't think about this, but you're pulling up to a house. She's pulled into the driveway every other time, and in this house she doesn't, and I kind of hike up that steep driveway. She's like, maybe this isn't gonna work. She goes, if I have to park on the driveway, sometimes on steep driveways, I lose my balance and then I roll down. And I'm like, honey, you're not even gonna look at this house, get back in the car. Because we don't want you to roll anywhere. And then we became best friends because I'm like, everybody tells me that they can't buy this house because they're afraid they're gonna roll down the driveway up. I mean, we're solid, right?
That's true.
I get you. This is a deal breaker. This is something that we can't fit.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, this is a non-negotiable. We're in the 50%. Yeah, it's gonna be a bad day if she has to get that. You've got neighborhood insights, how home buying works. I mean, I think you guys have got this part of it. You know, how to find the house that they're looking for. What I do too, with all of my buyers is I tell them, even if they say they're not ready yet, I'm like, okay, let me do this for you. What is your dream house? If you could buy a house right now, realistically, what are you? And for a 3-bedroom, 2-bath house, just okay. I'm gonna set you up on a search. And I'm gonna show you in this certain price range, you know. You're not ready to be you couldn't get pre-approved yet, but you think if you pay off these couple of bills, you're gonna be at this price. Okay, perfect. I'm gonna go ahead and set you up for a search right now for homes that are coming on the market, homes that are pending, and homes that are sold. I'm only gonna send it to you one time a day instead of doing that ASAP. As I want you, end of the day or at the middle of the day, see what's happened in the last 24 hours. Because I want you to have realistic expectations. Houses are going on the market at 300,000, but all the ones that are pending are at 275, and all the ones that have been accepted sold are at 260. So we're seeing that people are paying less. I mean, they need to know that information. You have information that they can't get on Zillow. Okay? They don't know what it would be. So pay attention to that. I mean, you can't tell them what it was pending for, but you can see it. Knowledgeable and caring and the best agent for these fronts. They appreciate my expertise and preparation and choose me to represent them as they buy home all day long. Welcome the buyer. This is your buyer needs analysis. Do not let your buyers write love letters anymore. Okay. Please, I love your house. My kids will be in the backyard. And they put a picture of themselves. And this was back in the day. They are, I'm gonna say Islamic or something. Okay. That could be construed if they don't get the house, they could say that they were, you know,
So people.
racist.
House that's.
100%.
During COVID,
Oh.
when they were getting.
I was awesome.
When there was like, not all the.
Yeah.
Never heard of that.
Now, do not write a love letter. Okay, because you're putting your people up, yeah. Getting the signed agreement. Guys, that shouldn't be something that I need to teach you. You have to have the buyer's agency agreement legally to open a door. I had Braylon and Jack that I'm showing a house to right now. I got them pre-approved. Okay, she said she wasn't ready. I went on a 5-day vacation. My lender called me back and said, hey, Braylon and Jack, another agent just sent me over wanting a pre-approval for your clients, and I got them pre-approved. It doesn't always work, right? About a week and a half later, Braylon called me and she goes, okay, I just want to ask you some questions as we're thinking about buying this house. I said, she's like, with Erica. I'm like, great. She's a great agent here in good hands. What did you sign for? We didn't sign anything. What do you mean you didn't sign? Legally, in the United States, in order to open a door, you have to sign a buyer's agency agreement. Jack, did we sign anything? No. Just call your agent before I said, I don't want to step on anybody's toes. Call your agent and ask, to get a copy of whatever you sign. The producer, she said, she usually with new agents, or with new clients, she only has them sign for 1 day, so it would be way now, but I would still like it. So now I know that they didn't sign anything. Trust the agent that I thought. I've said some things that explain to them that you want to be working. I didn't say it this worstly, but it was pretty much, do you want to be working with somebody that's cutting corners, or do you want to work with somebody that's going to get you to the finish line without writing this? They're like, well, we would love for you to help us. Since I said, I'm not going to help you if you're under contract with somebody else. We're not. First thing I'm going to do is I'm going to send you a buyer's agency. You're going to sign it. So because I know you were going to go ahead and sign it. That's fair enough. This help you buy your house. Yes. That was yesterday that I remember. If you are not, and if they expire, if you do a buyer's agency agreement, I'm like, hey, I just met you. I'm gonna have this. I usually say now, kind of. That you're gonna agree to work with. Is that okay? So that then, at the end of the weekend, if you decide that we're a good fit and you believe that I'm the person that my house, I'm gonna have you go ahead and sign it. For 2 months, but we may be able to find a house this week. Does that sound good? What do we say when people say, I don't wanna sign anything because it says on there that I'm gonna pay your commission?
Gave them something for free.
I don't work for free. What do you say?
I don't get paid unless you
I don't get paid unless we make an offer.
You walk in the door, and we done it.
Can't walk in the door if we sign it. Here's what I say, okay, and then I'm gonna stop because I'm 10 minutes over. Okay, let me explain the fire agency. It's a national lawsuit, this is why we have to say it. I've been in business for 14 years, you don't have to say that part. And I've never once had to have my buyer pay my commission. Those crazy edge states, New York and California and Florida, and I do this, and I make it big. Okay. They do different, they do things a little bit different. Here in Indiana, here in Florida, we're kind where we're gentler and we're smarter. To be quite honest, we know that generally these sellers. Here's what I can promise you. I'm gonna negotiate on your behalf to make sure that the seller pays my commission, so you don't have to pay. In the very rare things, and I promise it's not that. I tail off to make sure that's find the right house. And they don't pay my commission, I'm gonna ask you because probably it's not the right house. Because there's something that they're not showing us. Fair enough. So you can, I think, feel with my word, I think, should feel safe enough to sign this because I'm gonna work my tail. To not read my records. Of having 100% of the sellers pay my commission. You don't. No, I said.
So- For my own son, for his house, I only paid 2.5%. So for my own son, I had him pay the 0.5. So you can imagine, I'm still asking for people to pay it going forward. Because if my son finds out that I didn't
Oh,
collect.
sure. Okay,
So and I use that and let people
Yeah.
know.
my thing here. I don't make my buyers pay that extra 5%. I get why you do. I make them understand, listen, if they're gonna pay 2.5%, I'm probably gonna go ahead 2.5% and not ask you to pay the extra, but in return, I want you to help me make up my commission by sending me your firms.
Oh, I love that. That's good.
Yeah.
That's good.
Because I would rather take 2.5% and leave them with a feeling of my people, my agent cared for me. And I do, I owe them a little bit.
So I have over. No. Contracts and 30%. They're all like paying. You have to pay that.
No, you can take less, you can take less, it doesn't matter, you get to negotiate your own commission all the time. As a matter of fact, when I have sellers right now that are buying, I do it for 2.75%, because I know I'm gonna get a second commission. I'm giving them because I, and for me, I'm like, friends and family get the 25% discount. I don't know how I came up with that this year. It's always been 2.8, but this year is 2.75, whatever. I'm leaving money on the table, maybe. But let me help you pay a little bit less, whatever. And since I've been willing to drop my commission a little bit, my business has been great. Feedback. What questions, comments, concerns, criticisms? Crash. Does this help? Yes. Anything else you need to know about buyers? I can teach this class all day long, so.
What's your percentage of, working with buyers and sellers? Were you like 80-20? or
Last year was 50-50 exactly. This year. I feel like I'm more sellers this year. Yeah,
But it's just part of your.
that's just right, yeah. I have them. But it used to be very heavily buyers. But I think as you grow as an agent, you realize sellers are where you have more control. And less time put into it, yeah. If you guys ever need help with the contract to close part, I highly recommend two gals in the left, two gals in the left. They have helped me tremendously. Called Lisa on the way over here and I'm like, hey, I got two accepted offers. Since I talked to this, so both partners. But kind of mindset, they have to be ready, willing, and able. Have to talk to your people. One of the buyers that I got under contract this weekend was a seller that I sold a house to in January this year. How that go? Why do you keep in touch with people that have bought a house in 4 months ago, 5 months ago? Stay have friends and family. Your people all the time.
I have a buyer, it's on the contract. Pretty long contract, it's about 2 months. 7,000.
Two different ways. Two different ways. First of all, I know who he is. I know what he wants. I find the house that will excite him. And I text him and I'm like, dude, if you've seen 123 Main Street, I think it's perfect for you. And then the Jedi mind trick, if you're a Star Wars person, these are not the droids you're looking for. Okay. I will say to people, I had a dream last night that we found your house today. We're gonna find your house today. You laugh. The percentage of times that has worked is ridiculous. People don't want to let down your dreams. And it doesn't work if you've met them once. But if I show them 15 houses, I have a really good feeling about it. I was actually had a dream about you last night. Found a house today. So let's go. And I do have to know that this is what I just can't throw that willy nilly. But it's almost criminal how well that works. But no, find them the house. You can't just send them houses. You have to say, this is the one. I'm available at 7 o'clock tonight. I know you're busy. But can we go out? 7 o'clock tonight, let's work this tomorrow. You have to create the urgency, because I've looked at houses for you for 2 months, and we've looked at houses and we've only been out once. But this one right here, this is the one. And you have to believe it, right? You have to believe it. You have to know what they want. You have to be able to back it up. Because otherwise, if you call them every day and say, I found one, then you have to fish for it the next person.
Right.
But if you actually.
Well, that's that.
Yeah.
So you bring back up their 80%. Like these are the things that you said were most important to you.
Every single showing. Every single showing. If I show, well, not every single, if I show them 3 houses, if I show them 3 houses, the first house, I say, okay, remember today, I'm gonna ask you rate each house on a scale of 1 to 10, remember, we're looking for an 8, if you say 8, we're gonna write a contract, remember why? And I quizzed them, yeah, 10% we can change, 10%. And then I make a game of it, it's a couple, I'm like, you go stand over there and you go stand over there, and it's still here. Because if he says 5 and she says 9.5,
Yes.
yeah.
That's the way.
Well, she's gonna win, yeah. She always wins, yeah. One more question, then we can go. Only 20 minutes late, I started.
You started like.
And then
And then we can break again. That's not right up here. Anything else? Take an extra one of these fire lead sheets. Put it in the backseat of your car. And you guys. You call me anytime.
thank you, ma'am.
Anybody got anything about clients?
Yeah.
Does anyone have investor clients?
I,
I've got 2 assets houses. It's not on my.
You got to what?
Assets houses. Yeah. I'm gonna be putting them up in the next week or 2, but I was trying to find some fire. It's not involved.
Where are they at?
One's over by Central Station over there by Church of Bounds. On South First,
last week.
South First Street. Oh, was there an investment?
No.
Oh, yeah, for the track. And then one, in like the Hillview area out off Woodland Road, by Lane. Okay.
What's it?
Yes, then did you see the time change for Wednesday?
No.
Yeah, Wednesday is in the afternoon because there's an event in the morning. So the morning event is funny.
I mean, they said, my first one is
Like one of the majors of it. Yeah, that one probably still has the old. Yeah, so we changed that to 1 to 2:30, I think. So it starts at 1.
This, the first one.
Stop the video.
Yeah, that's right.
I got you.
Welcome. Yes. Sorry. I just Googled the number, but I think it said 6.
Sure, it's
up. Okay.